Yes, dear friends, we'll continue company law management and administration chapter. In the last video, we had seen provisions of section 111 relating to circulation of members' resolution, and before that, we had seen the various methods by which voting can be conducted by a company. Now, we'll move ahead to section 112 and 113, which deals with representation at meetings. Section 112 deals with a situation where the President of India or Governor of State, being member of a company, can appoint a representative. President of India or Governor of State, if they are member of a company, they may appoint such person as they think fit to act as a representative at any meeting. Such other person shall be entitled to exercise the same rights and powers, including right to vote to proxy and postal ballot, as the president or, as the case may be, governor could exercise as member of the company. So just like any other member, their representative can, or their representative has all rights and powers attached. Similarly, where a body corporate is member or creditor of the company, by resolution of its board of directors or other governing body, such body corporate can authorize such person as it thinks fit to act as its representative at any meeting of the company, or at any meeting of any class of members of the company, or at any meeting of creditors of company if the body corporate is creditor, and the person will have same rights as body corporate whom the person represents. So these are just, say, some clarificatory sections, highly logical also. Where President of India or Governor of State, you cannot expect President or Governor to go and attend the meeting. So they would appoint persons they think fit as their representative, and that person shall have every powers and rights that Companies Act provides to a member regarding voting. Similarly, where a body corporate or member is where a body corporate is member or creditor, then that body corporate's board of directors shall, through a resolution, authorize such person as it thinks fit. Authorize such person as it thinks fit as its representative at any meeting of the company, and if the body corporate is creditor, at any meeting of creditors of company, and the person shall have same rights as body corporate whom the person represents, that is the company that the person represents. So that is section 112 and 113, representation and meetings. Now we'll move on to section 114 to 117, some very important provisions, and also clarify certain terms. Like we used here resolution. So actually, what does a resolution mean? What is the difference between a motion and a resolution? Now, resolution, as you know, is formal decision of an organization while transacting a business at a meeting. That is what you call resolution. Formal decision. This decision was was taken by passing a resolution. You would have heard. Or when some company authorizes someone to appear before a particular authority, the authority may require copy of resolution passed. Or when a company starts a bank account, the bank would require a copy of resolution authorizing the persons to act on behalf of the company. So resolution is highly important and the key determinant. So you have to be clear how a resolution is passed. What is the difference between a motion and a resolution? A motion which has obtained necessary majority vote in favor becomes actually a resolution. So a motion is a proposal, while resolution is adoption of motion. So motion is a proposal. When that proposal is supported in favor by majority, then it becomes resolution. Most matters come before a meeting by way of a motion recommending that the meeting may express approval or disapproval or take certain action or order something to be done. Not all motions become resolutions because the motion may fail also. But all resolutions come from motions. Generally, a motion can be put forward verbally also, but a resolution is always written down and recorded. If a motion is put forward by a member except by the chairman, it needs to be seconded by another. Once supported, the motion is put to members as a discussion. If the vote is favorable to the motion, then the motion gets upgraded to a resolution. So that's basically the difference between a motion and resolution. So motion is a proposal. Every motion need not become resolution. Only when the motion is duly adopted, it becomes a resolution. So all resolutions come from motions. A motion can be put forward even verbally, but once it is approved, then it is written down. Who brought that motion, who seconded that motion, that is always written down and recorded. If a motion is put forward by a member, except by a chairperson, it needs to be seconded by another. Once supported, the motion is put to members as discussion. If vote is favorable to the motion in the discussion, if votes are favorable to the motion, that motion gets passed and upgraded to a resolution. So now we understand the difference between a motion and resolution. Let us see the two different kinds of resolutions existing. Again, all of us might have heard about this: ordinary resolution and special resolution. Now, what is actually an ordinary resolution and what is a special resolution? A resolution shall be an ordinary resolution if votes cast in favor of resolution exceeds votes, if any, cast against. That is, 51% majority only required. Simple majority. Votes cast in favor shall exceed vote cast against. Then that resolution is passed. Such resolutions are called ordinary resolution. But certain transactions would require not just majority, but 3/4 majority. That is, votes cast in favor shall be 3 times vote cast against. Means if 4 persons are there, or say 100 persons are there, 75% shall 75% or 75 persons shall favor that resolution. Only then the resolution would get passed. So the votes in favor shall be 3 times votes cast against. A resolution shall be a special resolution when it is duly specified in notice. And of course, notice for special resolution shall specify in notice itself, which is sent to members, that the resolution is to be passed as a special resolution. So the members can come prepared to ensure that the motion is passed with requisite votes. So shall be a special resolution when it is duly specified in notice calling the general meeting and votes cast in favor is 3 times votes cast against the resolution. Notice required under this act shall be duly given for passing an ordinary resolution. The intention to propose the resolution as a special resolution shall be duly specified in notice calling the general meeting or other intimation given to members of the resolution. So the fact that a special resolution is required to pass the particular item discussed shall be mentioned in notice of meeting. So where it is provided in the act that the company in general meeting may do something. So when will you know that an ordinary resolution is sufficient for a particular matter, or where a special resolution is required? Where the company, where it is provided in the Companies Act that company in general meeting may do something, this means that an ordinary resolution is required to be passed. Company in general meeting may. that term indicates that ordinary resolution is sufficient. A special resolution is required for transacting business only where it is specifically required by the Act. All other businesses can be transacted by an ordinary resolution. So the business where special resolution is required shall be specifically listed in the Act. All other business can be transacted by ordinary resolution. So where ordinary resolution is passed or ordinary resolution is only required, the business transacted may be ordinary or special depending on requirements of the Act. But where special resolution is required to be to pass the item, business transacted is always special business. So where an ordinary resolution is sufficient, the business may be ordinary business or special business. But where special resolution is required, the business is always special business. So special resolution is required for various matters like issue of sweat equity shares, alteration in provisions of MOA or AOA, buyback of shares or securities, variation in objects of the prospectus, shifting of registered office of company, and so on. These are some matters where special resolution is required. So a special resolution requires votes cast in favor to be 3 times votes cast against, while an ordinary resolution just requires simple majority. For where ordinary resolution is required, notice shall be duly given, that is 21 days time. But in case of special resolution, notice shall be duly given, and it shall also be mentioned in notice that the resolution concerned is to be passed as special resolution. Where in Act it is provided that the company in general meeting may do something, then it means that an ordinary resolution is required to be passed. A special resolution is required for transacting business only where it is specifically so required by the Act. All of the business can be transacted by an ordinary resolution. Where a particular matter can be transacted through ordinary resolution, the business transacted may be ordinary business or special business. Even special business may require ordinary resolution only. But where special resolution is required, the business transacted will be special business. There is no doubt. So naturally, now a question may come to your mind. What is ordinary business? What is special business? So we saw the difference between motion and resolution, the difference between ordinary resolution and special resolution, and we now know that special resolution is required only when the Act specifically requires, and when a special resolution is required, the business transacted will be special business. But even certain special businesses would require only ordinary resolution. So it is not that special business requires special resolution and ordinary business requires ordinary resolution. You cannot say like that. When special resolution is required, definitely the business will be a special business. But even special businesses may require only ordinary resolution. So when special resolution is required only for those transactions which are specifically mentioned in Act. So even for special business, where special resolution is not mandated by the Act, ordinary resolution would be sufficient. So now, next thing to be clarified is, what is the difference between ordinary business and special business? What is ordinary business? What is special business? Now, an ordinary business is business transacted only at AGM, not in any other general meeting. Any business transacted in every other general meeting except AGM are special business. So does it require a special resolution for passing every special business? No. Special business just means business except 4 ordinary businesses. Transactions regarded as ordinary business. 4 particular items have been mentioned as ordinary business. They shall be transacted only at AGM also. Any business transacted except the 4 ordinary business is special business, and it is not compulsory that for passing every special business you require special resolution. No, special resolution is required only for certain items which are listed, certain matters which are listed in Companies Act. For those matters, definitely special resolution is required. But it is not these matters which are treated as special business. Special business means every business except the 4 ordinary business that are prescribed. So even special business may require only ordinary resolution to pass. So which are the ordinary business? Adoption of financial statements, report of board of directors, report of statutory auditors, or you can say adoption of annual accounts, which include all these. Adoption of financial statements, report of board of directors, report of statutory auditors. This is ordinary business conducted in every AGM. Declaration of dividend, retirement and appointment of directors, retirement and appointment of auditors and fixing their remuneration. These are special ordinary business. These 4 business are ordinary business. Every business transacted except these 4 are considered special business. So have no confusion as regards special business and special resolution. Special business does not mean it requires a special resolution. Special business just means any business except these 4 items. Any business, they are special business, and passing these matters would require just an ordinary resolution, unless Act requires special resolution. So only because Act requires special resolution, 3/4 majority is required for passing those matters, and of course they will be special business. So it is not that every special business requires special resolution, but where special resolution is required, they are special business, definitely. So special business also may be passed through ordinary resolution. For those special business which are specifically mentioned in the Act, only require special resolution. So you have to be clear about ordinary resolution, special resolution, ordinary business, special business. Ordinary resolution means a resolution which requires simple majority, while a special resolution requires votes cast in favor to be 3 times more than votes cast against, or in other words, 3/4 majority, you can say. The notice for a special resolution shall mention that the matter requires a special resolution to be passed. And special resolution is required for transacting those business where Companies Act prescribes special resolution. And definitely that business will be a special business. But that doesn't mean every special business requires special resolution. Even special business, which is not prescribed by Companies Act, necessitating special resolution, would require only ordinary resolution. So if Companies Act does not prescribe special resolution for a business, ordinary resolution is required. Ordinary resolution only is required to be passed for such business, and that business may be special business also, because ordinary business means these 4 business transacted at AGM. Any business except these 4, that is adoption of financial statement report, adoption of financial statement report of BOD, report of statutory auditors, declaration of dividend, retirement and appointment of directors, retirement and appointment of auditors and fixing their remuneration. Any business except these constitutes special business, and they will be transacted, and every business transacted in EGM are special business. In all other general meetings, all business to be transacted are considered as special business. So that is basically ordinary business and special business. So now you have understood provision regarding representation at meetings, section 112, section 113. You have understood the difference between a motion and a resolution. You have understood the difference between ordinary resolution, special resolution. And you have now understood the difference between ordinary business and special business. Even a special business may require only an ordinary resolution. But when a particular matter requires special resolution to get it passed, it will be special business.